Hello there everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tabitha Gabrielle, and today we are going to be doing the quarter year book crisis tag. Quarter year crisis book tag. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I was tagged by Haley Annabelle, so thank you so much, Haley, for tagging me. I'm very excited to get into this one today. I did kind of take the time to prepare, and I have some of my answers written down, so if you can see my laptop, I'm very sorry. And it's like May 16th when I'm filming this, but we're just going to ignore that. I feel like it should be quarter of the year right now, which would be, I guess, like the end of March. It's May! So here we are. Without further ado, let's get into it. Question 1 is, how many books have you read so far this year? And y'all are not ready for this. It's like such a big amount, like you're not ready for it. You do not even want to know how many I've read because it's just gonna put all of you to shame. 15. I've read 15 books this year so far, you guys, which is fine with me. But I am aware that some readers can read up to 15 books per month. I read 15 in like 5 months. I'm a slow reader, I will admit. Y'all that read up to 15 books a month?
Tell me your secrets, please. I need to know them.
Thank you. Question 2 is, have you found a book that you think might be a 2024 favorite? If not, what was your favorite book that you read that wasn't quite 5 stars? I really loved Powerless, and I really loved the Cruel Prince series this year. I talked about both of these books in my most recent video, which is like 30 minutes long. Feel free to go watch that for more in-depth thoughts on both of these books. I will say, I think Powerless could easily be for anyone and everyone. However, the Cruel Prince series, I can see some of y'all not liking it. It's very political, it's very dark at times, but I loved it. Over the course of the 3 books, there's also a couple of spicy moments, which I know some of y'all would not appreciate, but I personally didn't have a hard time just skimming through it. It was not really a big issue for me, but I can see it being an issue for other people. So just be aware of that before you get into the series, because the first book doesn't have anything like that really, but then the second and the third, there's like one per book. There's one scene per book that I found pretty easy to just skim through. I loved both of these books, and I would easily rate Powerless 5 stars, and I would also rate the Cruel Prince trilogy a solid 5 stars, just like the whole trilogy across the board. I feel like those books kind of like brought my creative drive back, if that makes sense. Question 3 is, any 1-star books / least favorite book of the year? So I wouldn't really call it a 1-star book, but Ready or Not by Cara Bastone, I think that's how you say her name, was not for me. Yeah, I listened to it on audiobook, and the narrator was really fun. Like, she was a really good narrator, and she really brought the story to life, but the story itself, I was like, okay. I rated it 3 stars on Goodreads, but it was honestly probably lower than that for me. The enjoyment was not there, and there was a very, very open door spicy scene, which was really awkward because it was an audiobook, and for some reason listening to it was way more awkward than actually reading it and having the chance to skim through it, if that makes sense. So yeah, no. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't for me. Yeah, no, it wasn't for me. Question 4 is, what is your most read genre so far this year? And out of the 15 books that I've read, 9 of them are fantasy books. So, fantasy. Question 5 is, a book that surprised you. For this one, I put The House of Eve by Sadiqa Johnson. This book was recommended to me by a friend, and it's kind of like women's fiction, literary fiction, that type of vibe. And I kind of like, sometimes I like those books and sometimes I don't. It really depends. This one in particular, I really did enjoy. I talk about it more in my first recent reads video. So if you want more in-depth thoughts on that book and the content within it, go watch that video. I was pleasantly surprised by that book. Loved the author's writing style. Okay, question 6 is, a book Okay, question 6 is, A book that has come out in 2024 already that you want to read and haven't read yet. It's very funkily worded, okay? To me that sounded like word vomit, but you get the picture, you get the idea. A book that has come out already this year that I'm excited to read that I have not read yet. Yes. So for this one, I put A Crane Among Wolves by Jane Hur. I saw an Instagram reel kind of like promoting this book, and I was intrigued. And I immediately went to Goodreads and I looked at Goodreads. The Goodreads description of it was, I was like, if this is done well, this is going to be amazing. It actually just came out a couple days ago on May 14th, and it's May 16th as I'm filming this. So like 2 days ago it came out, so it is brand spanking new. I got that book on audiobook and I am listening to it right now, so I will let you know my thoughts when I finish it. Question 7 is one goal that you've made that you're succeeding at. I really don't set reading goals for myself because when I set goals, I see accomplishing the goal as something that I have to do rather than something that I want to do, if that makes sense. That's just how I am. And so if I set specific reading goals and I don't meet those, I'm going to feel very disappointed with myself, and it's going to end up feeling more like a job for me. And I don't really want it to feel like a job at this point because I just want to enjoy reading. So I don't really have specific reading goals. But I will say I've been wanting to focus more on writing this year, and I feel like I have done that overall. And even though I haven't met all of my writing goals and done all of the perfect writing things, I still feel like I still feel like I've,
Have you ever had a dream that you had you want.
Do you guys ever just talk and then your brain just stops working? It's like your thought process fell off a cliff, because that's what just happened to me. I haven't accomplished all of the writing goals that I've set for myself, but I have made progress, and progress is still progress no matter how small a progress is. So, yeah. Question 8 is one goal that you made that you need to focus more on. Writing. Writing is one thing that I really want to do more of this year. It's just something that's really been on my heart. Even though I have goals, I try not to push myself too hard, and if I don't meet the goals, I try not to beat myself up too much, which is really hard for me because I'm like a checklist person. I'm like, all right, we got this done, let's check it off. And when I don't finish the things that I need to do in order to check it off, I'm like, I'm a failure. The last question, question 9, is new to you booktubers for 2024 that you would recommend. And the first one is Haley Annabelle. She tagged me in this video, and I've just recently gotten to know her a little bit better, and I love her, even though she doesn't like fantasy books. She's got like really good book recommendations overall, and she comes at all of the books that she reviews from a Christian counseling perspective and point of view. And so I really love her in-depth thoughts about different books and stuff like that. Shout out to Haley. Secondly is a YouTuber that I've started watching here recently. I've not watched a lot of her videos, but Katie Blue Kepler, love her vibe. Like, I could listen to her talk all day. Older sister vibes in the best way possible, and as someone without an older sister, I am the older sister. I like listening to her book reviews, even though some of her books I probably won't read. I still just love listening to her talk, and like her little just ranty advice videos. They're just fun. I like them. She's just very uplifting, so I would also recommend her. And I believe that is all. I feel like this is a record. This is like a record timing for me filming a video. I feel like I'm not going to have much to edit, which is great. I love that for me. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever other time of day it is for you. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.